I know I said I'd be podcasting this on iTunes, but I actually couldn't get it to work. I actually don't think it's worth it because it'll take a little bit more time. My friend tried to describe it to me, and it just seems like too much work. So I'm just gonna upload it straight to my YouTube channel. I might upload some of them to as a podcast if you really want to download it, but I don't see why anyone would. So here's my first recorded match. It's a Protoss versus Protoss match. I'm the blue Protoss up here, and my opponent's the red Protoss, and we get our we start like with pretty basic. I get the first simulator, so I'm gonna be the first to get Vespene gas, which is a very crucial when I play Protoss, because I usually pump lots of troops, lots of stalkers out really early. So early Vespene gas is really key, as well as late game Vespene gas. But early Vespene gas is really important. So I get off my second assimilator, and I'm just raking in lots of gas, and he still doesn't have any Vespene gas. And I'm gonna get up. We both have waygates and some pylons, and I get up my cybernetics core, and he gets up 2 more waygates, and he's eventually gonna upgrade them into warp gates. So he's gonna be playing a very aggressive Protoss, which is pretty scary if he plays it right. But I'm just gonna have a pretty defensive start. I'm gonna start pumping out some stalkers and sentry. Sentries are really important in the mirror match, as well as really any time you're playing as Protoss. Sentries are really important. So he has 4 gateways, and I still only have 1. But I got the first unit produced, which, again, isn't a big deal, but he's gonna play really aggressive here. He is going to get a zealot out, and I still have my my stalker and stuff right outside the gate in case of the early attack. And here I bring in my unit so I can get up a robotics facility, so I can get immortals, which I also like in the mirror match. And he upgraded his waygates to warp gates, so now he can just warp out troops whenever he wants, which is going to be really powerful. So he can get an early attack and just keep pressuring me. But I'm pretty good at playing defensive, so I'm not too worried. I still haven't scouted his base yet, but that's actually problematic because I don't know of his aggressive start. So I could easily fall into the trap of trying to get an early attack and just getting stuffed. But no, I'm just gonna lay back and get a very early expand. I got that a couple minutes ago. He still hasn't expanded, but he gets his pylons all around his base. Very good strategy. Pretty basic, but whatever. So he is gonna get up his. He still has. He sends in an observer, and he sees my troops. I've already started pumping out immortals. They're really good because they can take a lot of fire, and they do lots of damage to stalkers and frail units. And they also have range damage, which is pretty good. And he's gonna send his first wave of troops at me. He's got mainly stalkers that he just warped out, and we're just gonna battle head on. I get up my shields, and so he gets up his shields and whatnot. So I'm gonna be able to kill off his observer or whatever, and then I can micro out 2 troops safely, and I managed to save 2 troops by microing over there, and pretty good play, to be honest. I'm okay at micro. Like, if I showed my friend how to micro, he could probably out-micro me with a trackpad, which is pretty sad, but I can get by, and I showed that there with a very good defensive play, kept 2 troops, and as you can see, the immortals were really good against that attack, as they are here. I believe I can't get up my shield because he's out of energy. And as you can see, I also microed that immortal to save him from dying during that attack. And he's just going to keep pumping out warp gates, and here he gets 8 up, and he's just going to keep trying to flash out stalkers to come pressure me and pressure me and pressure me. But I'm playing pretty well in terms of not dying, I guess. And I eventually get up a second way gate, and I'm just gonna pump out stalkers. And as you can see, I'm getting out immortals and stalkers and some sentries, and that'll be really good. And I'm gonna get up some pylons outside my base so I can set up some defensive cannons. And here he has a lot of stalkers. I mean, a decent amount. He probably has 12 stalkers and 1 immortal, and he's gonna come and try and be dangerous. He sees my troops. I didn't have a detector at this point, so I didn't know he had actually scouted me already. But as you can see, my troops are pretty big, my army size compared to his, and I'm gonna get 2 more pylons, and then start pumping out a couple cannons just to play defensive, which is pretty good, I guess, and it's gonna help me during his next attack. And I don't know why I just move out there. Oh yeah, I'm gonna try and attack him, just to show him that he's not the only one pressuring in this situation. And I haven't actually seen his base, so I don't know that the cannon over there can get my troops, but as you can see, it starts to attack my immortal, and now his army comes to attack me, so I run out to try and fake that I just wanted to destroy that, but he brings out his army too, and we're gonna meet head to head. I can't really manage to micro anything. I only have 1 shield where he has a couple, and he's eventually just gonna win this little encounter. But back at the base, I am pumping out some more stalkers, and I think I start to pump out some zealots because I see the mass stalkers that he's going for. But I'm still getting immortals. I'm usually constantly pumping out immortals against the Protoss. And here he's gonna come and attack me, but these cannons come in really handy because they distract him enough that he's gonna come and try and take out the pylons and the cannons so that my buildings are unpowered, but it leaves him really vulnerable because he loses too many troops to really do much on this attack. I'm gonna micro him out, and I'm gonna try and micro this immortal out, but he runs up and shoots it down. But it got me some extra damage, so it did its job, and I managed to survive from that attack. And he's gonna keep pressuring me with his warp gates. And I still hadn't scouted his base, so I didn't know what was going on. And here we meet at the front, and I've got an immortal and 2 stalkers against 4 stalkers, and I'm gonna run this guy back, come snipe for a little bit, run back. He's eventually gonna die, but then Mike rode well enough to get my 2 zealots out to come defend, and I didn't really take damage from that attack. I'm gonna speed it up again, just a little bit, and as you can see, I'm getting lots and lots of Vespene gas, and he still has, he finally gets his expand. He's gonna come in, try and out-micro me, but 4-on-4 zealots and stalkers, he didn't really stand a chance, to be honest. He's just gonna keep turning around, trying to shoot me down. Doesn't really do a very good job and loses his stalkers to a kind of a very weak little skirmish with his stalkers. It was a pretty bad play, to be honest, because he didn't really get anything, but he's constantly trying to pressure me, and his army size really isn't good enough to do any real damage, and I'm able to micro well enough to prevent loss of building. And right now I'm pretty sure that I decided to pump out some cannons. As you can see, he has some troops waiting outside my base, and there we go. I've got this huge amount of cannons that I'm pumping out, and they'll be really key in the defense because I'm hoping that he'll bring his entire army out. But yeah, so